Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving my review for Happily. This is a film starring Joel McHale, Breckin Meyer, is it Sherilyn Yee? Just Stephen Root, just multiple notable faces. I mean, I don't know a lot of them by. I couldn't tell you some of them by name, but I could definitely tell you by their face or who they are, where I've seen them from.
And then the main girl looks like Brie Larson.
But this is one that came out in 2021, and I passed on it. Figured I'd wait. I'll get to it eventually.
I didn't know about it.
But basically, you have these two. They're a married couple. They've been married for nearly 15 years, and they're basically supposed to be the picture perfect couple. Their sex life is amazing. It's basically like they're teenagers still, even though been married for almost 15 years. And basically their friends despise them for it because, to them, it's marriage. You've been together for almost 15 years. You shouldn't be acting the way you are still. So, they're supposed to go on this trip. The friends kind of say, we don't want you on the trip. We hate you, basically. And they kick them off the trip and give them their money back. Well, they end up getting re-invited to go on this trip. They say why at the end.
Oh yeah.
But they end up getting a visit from this guy, and he gives them a briefcase and tells them they have to inject themselves with this stuff, and by morning they will be normal. It will make them a normal couple and not this picture perfect couple. They freak out. The wife freaks out. She hits him in the head. And they bury his body. They go on the vacation, and it just turns into this paranoia thriller comedy. And by the end, some may like the end. Some may not like the end. This movie, for 3/4 of the movie, for me and my wife differ on the ending.
Very much so.
And
let me address, okay, I am very much into true crime and thrillers and horror, but
yeah,
there comes a point.
3/4 of the movie, it keeps you guessing. It keeps you on your toes. It feels like it's building up to this big payoff.
Which for the first 3/4 of that movie, I'm perfectly fine with. I would give it a 5 right from there.
Yeah. The acting's really good. Cinematography's good. Like I said, the thriller, psychological mystery part of it's amazing for 3/4 of it.
It's not predictable.
It's not. Wasn't predictable for either one of us. The ending, though, is where it's going to divide a lot of people, obviously. The ending is one particular part of the movie you don't get a clear answer for. There's one specific part you don't get a real clear answer for.
We had to look it up.
No, not that part.
Oh. What part are you talking about?
The you-know-who person.
Oh.
But then there's another part where if you piece it together as the movie goes along, it makes sense. If you could probably figure it out.
It's hard though. You really gotta think.
Yeah, it is a little difficult. You have to really watch. You have to really pay attention. Really think. And honestly, I looked it up because I felt like I was missing something. I mean, that's how good for me it did. Like, I still
You were confused
felt,
and wanted to find out.
yeah, I wanted to know for sure because I knew I felt like I was missing something. Like, I'm like, this isn't, something's not adding up. And once I read to figure out what was really kind of supposed to be going on, it made sense, especially looking back and piecing things
In
together.
certain parts,
It
yes,
made
but then
sense.
at the same time,
Yeah, there's still some that she questions, um,
or
and
basically how
has
they went
issues
about
with.
it is how it is my issue. Is mainly how they went about it, and then like to get to what was supposed to be technically happening or the person. Anyway, the only other issue I have was the ending, which I'll let you talk about, like the circle part, which I'll let you talk about.
I'm trying to be as vague as possible just in case,
I know.
because it's still
Yeah,
kind of
it's still
newer.
newer.
But she felt like the ending was a very underwhelming ending. She felt like it was building up to something bigger.
Well, with how dramatic the
And
first part was, is what
yeah,
I mean. Because they play out very
and
well and dramatic, and then
it can definitely feel like it ends too quickly. It definitely can feel like it kind of loses steam. I've seen another person's comment when I was on Letterboxd, rating it for myself. I've seen somebody actually say that it kind of fizzles out at the end because of how it ends. And I mean, I can't necessarily disagree with that. It's just, like I said, it's a very mixed ending. It's going to be a very mixed ending.
it's still a good movie. It's just for them not to be not like in your face, but even like subtle hinting to at least let the audience know what's going on, even if the other like cast members or whatever in the movie don't.
Mm-hmm.
They don't do that, and so you really got to think about it, or else it's gonna throw the whole thing through a loop. On top of it being underwhelming and towards the end part.
Yeah. Normally I'd say more and reveal more
But it's
because
newer,
this
so it's
is,
like
well, even with it being 2021, I mean, it's been almost 2 years
yeah, they don't
whenever
give
this movie.
anything away because it's a mystery movie, so it's like
Yeah, so I'm trying because since it's a psychological mystery thriller, I'm trying my best to be vague about it.
here's the thing with
Or otherwise, normally I don't
it
though.
reminded me of Knives Out because I don't know about you, for me, like obviously you could tell they were trying to direct the suspicions towards that girl, but immediately I could tell it was Chris Evans from the start. And it's like, but the only thing is,
Spoiler.
it's not predictable like that, but it's set up like, you know what I mean?
Hey, I can say I like Knives Out, the first one, better than Glass Onion.
Yeah.
But in the end, I ended up giving happily. I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5. I thought it was warranted. It warranted enough for the 4 out of 5 for me personally. She said, as you probably just heard, a 3 out of 5 from
Which
her.
is pretty in line with what we usually do.
Yeah.
With each other. So.
And it's just going to be one of those movies. It's going to be a very divisive film. It's going to be one that, and I'm surprised I liked it as much as I did, just because it's Joel McHale. I don't really care for many.
The type of movie it is.
Yeah,
you don't like a lot of those movies, I do, but you because it seems also sort of Lifetime in a way.
It just depends on how. Like I like Identity. With you seen Identity?
I can't think of top. Who's in it?
John Cusack.
Oh yeah, I hate that.
I see. I like that one, and it's kind of a psychological thriller mystery.
Here's the thing with me and psychological thrillers is I don't mind as much that as long as they at least give me some hints of some things, but I don't like psychological thrillers that you have to work very hard to keep up with because I can't. My ADHD's all over the place. I can't do it. And so if you have like even one of those movies where was it Love the Coopers where you have like a million different storylines? I can't do it. I can't concentrate. I get lost. And so you gotta do one thing.
Well, and for me, when it comes to movies like this, if it invests me enough and keeps me intrigued, then I like it. If it's something that's going so slow and the story's just not interesting, then I don't. I mean, this one, this one is it's going to probably be slow for some people, but to me, and I think I will say I think I did feel it a little bit in the middle,
Yeah, but it wasn't
a little
horrible.
bit, but yeah, but it wasn't horrible.
And also, I was gonna say, even though it did drag just a tad, I don't think it bothered me only because I used to watch Lifetime all the time, like actual Lifetime movies, and those, because they do a very slow build up usually for the most part, not all of them, but some of them do. So I sort of am used to that to an extent. So it doesn't bother me as much. It takes longer for me to feel like a movie's dragging.
Yeah.
So if you can make me feel like a movie's dragging, good job. You just put me to sleep.
And that's why I'm scared to watch like Babylon.
Yeah.
Because it's over 3 hours.
10 Commandments.
Avatar. Because it's over 3. 10 Commandments is like 4 hours.
Lord of the Rings. You would fall asleep in Lord of the Rings.
I could watch. I've watched Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
but I like the battle parts.
So the end.
You can wake me up during the battle parts.
Oh
I watch the battle
parts.
The
end?
No.
Or towards the end?
You can wake every time you get a nice battle scene throughout the whole movie. Just wake me up, even if it's 2 seconds. I can watch it and I'll go back to sleep, and you just wake me back up.
I'll just watch it myself.
Or just wake me up at the final battle at the end. That's enough.
That's also fantasy though, which is why I say interested in it. Just like you've not seen the other Indiana Jones, but you're not interested in Indiana Jones. I'm like, I want Harrison Ford right now.
Nope. Indiana Jones ain't my thing. Mission Impossible ain't my thing.
I'm lucky you even like Harry Potter.
Star Wars, I'm just okay with.
Listen, the Force is not strong with you.
I know these are probably hugely unpopular opinions, but they're not my types of movies. They're, and it's just like I used to be a Marvel. How are we getting on this topic? We're getting way off topic here.
I don't know. Oh, if we're talking about the movie Dragon.
We'll get off this topic. We're straying too much here.
We'll do a separate video on
that. But yeah, I think that's everything for this review of Happily. If there's anything else.
No.
Nope. So.
It's just, I like it, but it's also just there.
But, so that's everything. So please comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified for our videos. We will see you all in the next one.